This one's called A Violent Year, 2007. It's mid-October, and the current murder count in Cleveland is 103. The most recent additions are 2 little girls drowned in a bathtub by their depressed mother. A few others that stick out like poison-tipped Amazon arrows in my memory are a young cop shot down the road, a fireman that flipped out and killed 3 of his neighbors on the 4th of July, a middle-aged mom that was killed by some teenagers speeding away from the cops downtown, and tons of kids, the little kids. These deaths stay in the news spotlights for a couple days, and then they're replaced by the next murder. It's a rotten and terrible assembly line. Whatever happened to the good old days when people would get angry? The guys are spouting angry and would say, like my Uncle Bob in the early 1950s, under a scorching red omelet late summer sun, shove his fist without thought into a threshing machine to yank out stalks of wheat. He didn't turn off the machine, and the blades were waiting for the fingers on his left hand. Each time after the accident, when Bob would feel a stream of anger swelling in him, he'd simply look down at that mangled hand, covered with a gray sock, and he'd quickly calm down. Ready?
Ready,
This one's called The Sad Story of Miss Elizabeth, or The Crown Jewel. You may remember her from the mid-80s to the early 90s. She was the Macho Man's wife. A lovely brunette with shiny, mermaid glittery, Jean Harlow style, conservative flapper girl sequin dresses, and Cleopatra thick necklaces. She always had this new employee at the dog pound look. A wide-eyed look, worried, anxious, always watching her Macho Man, that balded, bearded, reckless child of seaweed and madness. She was wrestling's Princess Di. She had as much beauty and class as a Carter family song. I'm thinking the Wildwood Flower particularly. I was watching an old wrestling video the other day of Macho Man. He'd become king somehow, with his new girl, a Pat Benatar, worn away by loud amps and spilled beer, sensational Queen Sherry. They fought Dusty the American Dream Rhodes, the former cowboy patriarch of a southern wrestling troupe, now reduced to large polka dots, and Sapphire, the relatable every woman. Miss Elizabeth came out to support Dusty and Sapphire. And I bet no one in the arena was swearing or yelling at their kids when she did. She had that kind of effect on people. After her death, she died young, popping pills, snorting dope, and doing shots of booze with the narcissist Lex Luger. It seemed all the women in wrestling were suddenly too eager to crawl on top of each other and mimic spring break lesbian-friendly videos. There were less families in the audience, and more lonely men crammed together, all gasping in unison and sharing the same fantasies.
Yeah.